we see in the culture, right, that everybody is dissing colleges. They are like, okay, colleges are not that important, and you might not join the college. You can learn everything online. So a lot of young people, who are graduating out of the college, they text me and they are like, "Bhaiya, counseling aa rahi hai agle mahine, but I want to do freelancing. I want to start something of my own. Should I go to college or not?" And my answer is always, please go to college, because you cannot sit in front of laptop and develop those soft skills that are essential in real life. It doesn't matter how good you are at texting or networking with people online. You are not going to spend your entire life online, right? You, at the end of the day, like at some point in your life, you have to go out, you will have to talk to people. So and I think that is exactly what college provides. Like,
I think college is not the institution; it's the people you meet there,
yep,
and
100%.
that's the only thing you learn. Understanding people, understanding human behavior, understanding how people
Absolutely.
do things, and other than that, making friends.
Yeah,
Just living that life is
absolutely.
is more of a learning experience than anything
Yeah.
else.
Okay, bro. So where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you
I
from?
I'm from Delhi.
Delhi. Cool.
Delhi, yeah, I live in NCR, Noida side.
Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so let's start with your origin story, because this is one question that I ask everyone who I invite on the podcast, because I am about stories. I'm about figuring out where the person is coming from, and then diving deep into what they are about and what they're trying to do. So to everyone who is listening this, tell them who Aryan is and where he's coming from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I I'm a pretty simple normal guy, just trying to create some things here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more like a person who does not like simple things, even though I'm a simple person. It's like I go into fundamentals of things and try
Mm-hmm.
to change them from there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, I love new technologies. I'm an engineer
That's
from
great.
like I'm still in college and then fourth year right now. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like that and building a startup in the financial literacy space. So
That's right.
something like that. And other than that, um, uh, I'm a person who loves art in general. I love designing. I love building things from the artist's perspective as well as from a technologist and like coder and from
Mm-hmm.
that perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Although I don't code that much now,
Yeah.
but yeah, now
That's
now it's like I'm nothing specific, so you could call me a generalist or a
yeah.
good for nothing person as well. So
Yeah, I
I
think.
know nothing in particular.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, even I am like, like people come to me and they're like, what do you do? And I always do not have a very specific answer for it, because I do a lot of things, like I run ads, I design things, I'm building a team, etc. etc. So how do you define like entrepreneur? I think like, okay, entrepreneur, but you as an entrepreneur have a lot of things that you need to do. So
Right.
people come and they are like, okay, I'm a freelancer, but what is the exact meaning of the word freelancer? Like, because at the end of the day, you are handling a lot of things, you're involved in a lot of things, you're doing a lot of things. So I think a lot of people that I've been talking to recently, they themselves are not pretty sure about what exactly their role is, because they are interested in a lot of things, or they are kind of
Right.
doing and executing a lot of things as well. So I think generalist is the way to go, I guess, because there are a lot of things that we need to take care of. So yeah,
Yeah.
I would
Yeah,
say.
I started because in like when I was 18, I'm 22 right now. When I
Hmm.
was 18, me and my friend started a Instagram page, just a quotes
Yeah.
page, just to earn money out of it. Because
Hmm.
someone told us that if you start an
Hmm.
Instagram page, you will get
You can.
shout outs and stuff, and you can
Yeah,
start
yeah.
earning money.
Hmm.
Uh, so we started that, and what that did to us was bring into this world of social media marketing, understand how to reach out to people without being a big company, without getting a big
Yeah.
funding and stuff. So I think that's what started all this. I
Hmm.
never knew कि normal सा quotes page could do something like this.
Yeah.
I can speak in Hindi बीच बीच में ना.
हाँ ब्रो, चिल, अब बिल्कुल चिल है ब्रो, कोई हिंदी मारवाड़ी मराठी तुम्हें बोला है वो बोलो, सब चलेगा.
So, so something like that. And Abhi, it is more like a combination of everything that we've
Hmm.
done.
Yeah.
So I was into investments. I
Mm-hmm.
understood investing in like
Yeah.
2020, personal finance and everything. And after that, at the end of 2020, I got an Alexa. I started building Alexa skills. I started
Mm-hmm.
understanding voice technology, its
Yeah.
future and stuff. And
Yeah.
now combined both those things initially only for Alexa, and
Mm-hmm.
now building a product company, an app.
That's a great.
So
Yeah.
and we are promoting it through social media. We are
So
like
it's everything. Yeah.
pure content
Uh,
marketing and
yeah.
something like that. And now, why? How did this happen? Is because we started at CodeSpace.
Yeah.
It's like very
Insane.
fascinating to connect all
Mm,
those dots.
That's
So
great. So we'll dive like a lot more into Finflow because I want to dive into Finflow as well. But before that, like don't want to kind of hurry things, and I just want to understand like how your graduation has been like, or was it something that you decided, by your own thought, or is it something that has been, like kind of because I remember when I was in 10th, everybody is like IIT was hyped around, like if you get, and people around me were like, if you get into IIT, you would take science, your life will be sorted and something like that. So I never sat down and gave a very concentrated thought on whether I really want to do an engineering or not, and I almost kind of shoved into that part of life where I was okay, now I'm doing engineering, you know what I mean? So I just want to understand like how it has been for you, from the environment, like is it from coming from the environment, or what was it a decision that you made for yourself solely, like how was that?
yeah, so I was always inclined towards maths and science, and I loved building things. So I built systems. I built stuff when I was young, even before engineering.
Yeah.
So engineering was a natural fit for me. It was nothing like forced upon me. Even my father is a designer. My mother was a teacher. She's more into art and other stuff. She's a food blogger now, so
Oh,
she is a content creator. So that comes
cool,
naturally to us, I guess.
cool, cool,
So
cool.
so so when engineering came naturally to me, it was nothing very out of this world. But when I came to like, of course, the thought of doing like becoming an engineer was normal. But when I started in this college and stuff, mm, I understood that this is not exactly the thing I thought it would be.
Yeah.
People were not building stuff. People were not something like वही यार थ्री इडियट्स वाला
Yeah,
रैंचो वाला
हाँ, हाँ,
हलवा
हाँ.
यार यहाँ पे
वही
बहुत
वही वही
लफड़ा है यहाँ पे
लफड़ा है.
बस
हाँ ब्रो.
बस इसे सर्वाइवल है यार अब तो यार कॉलेज टाइप तो
100%, bro. So I graduated in March 2020. It has been 1.5 years since I graduated, and the only thing that I could remember out of college is like the people I met and the kind of, I would say, the because like when you're a kid, you're at school, you're living with your parents, then you go out, you see new things. Because engineering college में क्या ही होता है bro? लोग आते हैं सेमेस्टर के 2 दिन पहले पढ़ के पास हो जाते हैं.
हाँ
क्लासेस में लेक्चर्स में कुछ चल नहीं रहा है, सब बकवास, आगे लोग सो रहे हैं, पीछे फोन चल रहा है, लैपटॉप में कोई कुछ कर रहा है, कुछ भी चलता है वहाँ. तो इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज तो आई थिंक इज जस्ट अ बिल्डिंग वेर यू गो एंड you discover yourself, okay, who you are as a person, like what do you actually enjoy, because so I also kind of created a video around it, that like when we're in school, we are in a pond, yeah, we have a lot like fixed set of rules and guidelines that we follow. Then as we go into college, we are thrown into flowing river, like guidelines decreases, some questions increases,
right
and then we graduate, it's like a professional life, now you're an ocean. Now you're an ocean, there are no set of rules and guidelines. Now you have to swim the way you want. So you get out there and you learn a lot of things,
right
and it's exactly like that. Like I do not remember any instance of me actually learning something extremely technical that just because of college that I could use in my life. You know what I'm saying? Even the things that I learned in college, like half the majority of the things are just me learning. Just me sitting in front of a laptop and me learning. So I
right
think engineering college is just there for the sake of it. Yeah.
I think college is not the institution, it's the people you meet there.
Yep.
And
100%.
that's the only thing you learn, understanding people, understanding human behavior, understanding how people
Absolutely.
do things. And other than that, making friends,
Yeah.
just living that life
Absolutely.
is more of a learning experience than anything
Yeah.
else
Dude, you
taught
won't
in class.
believe. You won't believe. So, like we see in the culture, right, that everybody is dissing colleges. They're like, okay, colleges are not that important, and you might not join the college, you can learn everything online. So a lot of young people, who are graduating out of the college, they text me and they're like, bhaiya counseling aa rahi hai agle mahine, but I want to do freelancing, I want to start something of my own, should I go to college or not? And my answer is always, please go to college, because like you cannot sit in front of laptop and develop those soft skills that are essential in real life. Like it doesn't matter how good you are at texting or networking with people online, if you cannot go in front of a man and speak with a person by looking into their eyes confidently, it doesn't matter. Like you are not going to spend your entire life online, right? You, at the end of the day, like at some point in your life, you have to go out, you will have to talk to people. So and I think that is exactly what college provides. Like not going to college is just not in my dictionary. Like why would you not go to college? Why would you not? Like
Right.
maybe like, because I have not met anyone who has never gone to college and is already very great social person. Like there are obviously a lot of exceptions, but generally, like if you met a person who is in 10th class, that person doesn't have a lot of social skills. But when that person graduates out of the college, that is absolutely transformed person. You know what I'm saying? And it is only just because of you go to college and you meeting people. So what are your thoughts on that, by the way?
Yeah, I mean, I can like from my particular situation, I can tell you that it was that only when I met those people, I was surprised in certain things कि ऐसी भी lives होती है.
Yeah.
And then you uh, in like in particular you meet people, you understand negotiations, you
Yeah.
understand एक normal चीजों में कि यार खाना मंगवाना है तो एक ही रेस्टोरेंट से मंगवाएंगे,
हाँ ब्रो,
बट
वाली वही है ना कि हाँ भाई आज मूवी देखने कौन सी जाना है, और तुम कन्विंस कर
कौन
दो
सी
नहीं
जाना
यार ये वाली देखने चलते हैं. हाउ डू
हाँ
यू डू दैट, ऑनलाइन? इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल.
yeah.
इट्स सो या.
तो वो अपने आप ही सीख जाते हैं, पेरेंट्स भी आपको स्कूल में इसलिए डालते नहीं, तो होम स्कूलिंग तो कोई भी कर सकता था.
एग्जैक्टली.
मुझे ऐसा लगता है what I actually want to do after all this later on is like a new kind of college where it's all about meeting new people and learning peer to peer, something like what we do on
Absolutely.
Twitter. Twitter is
Exactly.
for me is a peer to peer
100%.
learning platform. YouTube is kind of like P2P learning platform.
Yeah.
um, and even this doing this podcast, so I don't usually accept podcast invites
Yeah.
from people.
Yeah.
It's because I don't get anything from them. I know that I won't learn anything from
100%. Yeah.
interacting with them, and
Yeah.
I've watched a few of your reels, I've read your tweets, I've read your replies on my tweets,
Yeah.
so I know that I can understand and learn from you a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. Like this is also, like, so the way I invited you on the podcast, it is not just right off the bat that Aryan, I just saw your page, please please come on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? And these are also things that, so someone can create a course on how to invite people on podcast, but like you have to be a person, so what people do online who never went to college, like, because there are a lot of people, who just are in college, but they are just sitting at their home, and they're trying to do things online, but they just do not know how to actually talk to people, how to conversate with them properly. Because at the end, it doesn't matter if you're talking to them live or you're talking to them online. You have to treat it exactly the same way. And if you cannot make those both things the same, so if I am standing in front of you and if I'm kind of telling any sentence, okay, it should feel exactly same online.
Yeah.
Because what people do is they do not use appropriate proper words, but they use a lot of emojis, and like half the emojis are like you cannot relate with them in the real life, so you have to be able to use complete words like would you speak in front of a person,
Right.
and that's just all that I do, even the reels, even when I'm kind of sending texts to people on Twitter, and there is this inflection point where that now you can get comfortable with this person, now you can use words which are a bit informal. So I think it is just about, putting your skin in the game in real life, and you learn by default how to talk to people online. So yeah, that's how I
I
think about
do
it.
a similar thing with threads. So when I'm writing a thread, I don't know, I do it naturally. Some people
Yeah,
told me that it's like talking to you.
exactly. Yeah,
It's like having a conversation with you, and it does not feel like a long form of content and text. And so
absolutely.
everybody reading that can connect
Yeah,
with that.
Yeah.
So something like that, and we're also trying to do that with Finflow's threads. I don't know, like
100%.
if we are there yet,
Yeah.
but something like that.
Yeah, yeah. So like one of the reason why I just want to talk to you was because of the threads that you were posting on Twitter, to be honest, because they were to the point and informative, So I was like, okay, this person knows things that I just want to know. I just want to dig deep into okay, what this person is about and
Right.
how he is building things and how he thinks about the world. You know what I'm saying? Because the
Yeah.
threads that you write are very so there is no technical so there is this word that I use technobabble, right? So there are no technical terms. They are only present wherever necessary, and apart from that all like very basic language, but you just get to the point, you hit the spot right where it
Mhm.
need to be. And that's I think a great way to write and kind of create content as well. you know
Right.
so because I always see people creating content, they it's not denying the fact that they are good at what they do, but you cannot exactly print that online because people do not know things that you're trying to tell them. You just
Right.
not always cannot use the technical words. So I
Yeah.
think it's about
I think it comes naturally to me.
hmm,
I don't know technical terms. I don't know, like I
yeah,
know fundamentals of things. So when
yeah,
you build upon from that, I don't
hmm,
know, it bottom up approach. It's whatever it's called. Like
yeah,
I try to do that.
hmm,
Whenever I'm writing something in particular, hmm, that's when I actually try to be that content creator, like
hmm,
something of a giving my own perspective on it. So
yeah,
that part, if I post just as a tweet, won't get likes, won't get even like 1,000 impressions. But
yeah,
when I combine that in the thread,
hmm,
that works much better. So I figured it out that people like proper description for
yeah,
things. Uh,
yeah,
so yeah, it was all because of like iterations. And
yep, yep,
one
yep.
more thing that in my threads, usually it's just me writing constantly and not even checking anything, and straight away posting.
Hmm,
Usually it's that.
hmm.
Sometimes I put in a lot of effort to write, and
So no, sorry to interrupt, but so you're saying that you sit down and you're like, okay, now I'm going to write a thread. I have a topic in my mind. You just write things, and you do not cross-check them when you post it. Is that what you're saying, or you're like,
yeah.
that's what you're saying, right?
Yeah. So sometimes it's like I have a lot of thoughts in my mind. I
Hmm,
open Notion, I start
hmm,
typing,
hmm.
put copy that, put post it directly. So
Yeah,
I just check for some grammatical errors, and
that's
other
it.
than that, I because that thought is not going to be reproduced again. I
Absolutely.
feel that has to be put down right there. And
Hmm.
even if I'm writing something in particular, or something in like particular research of a company, or
Yeah.
like I'm writing something on Notion right now,
Hmm.
on Notion, as in the company.
Yeah.
Uh, I jolt down all of my thoughts, which are like whatever I think about that company first,
Hmm.
and then I read and consume a lot and
Ah,
try to put them
yeah.
together.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's always like I try to get my own perspective first, and then the whole story.
That's a pretty good point, by the way, because like, so what happens is you already have notions in your mind about a particular thing, and when you just by default start consuming content around those topics or things, the notions that you had, which were original, get disparted. Now they are not just your original thoughts anymore. So I think that's a pretty good point. Like whatever you are trying to create online, first write whatever then try to gain information about it, and then kind of maybe combine them as you said, or maybe finish them even more so it is very presentable. And that is one thing that I see, like people are like भैया मैं किस पे कंटेंट बनाऊं, मुझे तो कुछ आता ही नहीं है. I was like मुझे भी कुछ नहीं आता है. You know what I'm saying?
Huh.
Like you just are sharing what you think about the world and the things that are happening, and then you're just adding your gist around it, because as someone said that everything is already been created, in terms of
Yeah.
content, in terms of like how you think, the thoughts and everything, like so like we are still reading books from history, like philosophy of big philosopher like Marcus Aurelius, stoicism. So they have already said everything about life that you could ever want to know,
Yeah.
but it is just about adding your perspective to it, how you think about it and how it is relevant to your life. And I think that is exactly what content creation is. You just see things, you add your gist to it, and you post it, and that is it. And it is so beautiful when you can do that. You can build a community, you can do whatever you want. It's just insanely powerful, and people still do not understand it. It's crazy
And
to
I
me.
think it's a great hook for any content creator. Uh,
100%.
I tried creating content for a while. I tried documenting content for a while. This time I'm not doing anything. I'm just going out there and posting my thoughts.
Yep.
This time it's working more because I'm
Yep.
more human. I am not
Exactly.
a robot
Yeah.
copying from somewhere. And this time
Absolutely.
it's different because I'm building something very substantial. Before this, I was doing it particular for money or
Yeah.
particularly in like in a direction. Uh, Now it's very broad. Now my
Right.
knowledge is getting broader.
Yep.
Uh, and I'm consuming more books. I'm consuming more information,
Absolutely.
and I'm observing more than
Yeah.
before. So
Yeah.
everything gets combined and you become a better content creator.
I think that's the beauty of creating content, right? So I recently I've been very aware of the things that I'm consuming, because I just believe that the output that you produce at the end of the day has to do something that you are consuming, whatever your inputs are. So if you are consuming content which is not at an intellectual level where you want to be, or the content of an intellect level that you want to produce, you just cannot produce, right? Because you just cannot produce content of that intellect level if you're consuming content which is bullshit.
Right.
That's how I think about it.
That's true.
So like that's how the changes came in what I do as well, because I started reading a lot of books. I've always been an avid reader. Books, and it is also about, like, people do not understand how many beautiful podcasts are out there. If you can really dive deep into any topic, you can just get educated. You can increase your knowledge significantly in the short amount of time if you just listen and consume and watch the right type of content, which I think is extremely important, because in 2021, bro, like, there is no limit of content that you can consume. You can waste
Right.
your entire week by scrolling reels, or you can sit down, read articles, read blogs, read newsletters, you know hear great podcasts, and the level where you would be at is insane. Is
That's right.
insane. Yeah.
So there's a shift in me that I noticed earlier. I was creating content or like using Instagram in general. Uh, then I also moved to LinkedIn because Gary we started talking about LinkedIn a lot, and I understood LinkedIn. Uh, then suddenly one day, I think 2021 February March, I came on Twitter. My friend told me that you can learn a lot from this place, and I started following good people, built
Yeah.
kind of like a community we
Yeah.
formed. I actually never thought of it as a platform where I'll like showcase myself, express myself or
Yeah.
anything. I was just tweeting for the sake of tweeting
Yeah.
initially. Then I started having friends.
Hmm.
People started
From the
liking my
community.
content.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I started creating memes because I like memes, and they come naturally to me. Then I started sharing thoughts and memes and thoughts and memes, and everything started coming together. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Uh, and then one day I was like, no, I don't want to consume all that content in general. I want to be on the better side of Twitter. So I found great accounts,
Yeah.
found YC founders, YC people, and like the
Yeah.
kind of content I actually wanted to consume to
Absolutely.
understand certain things in the
Yeah.
startup world, and other than that to marketing, whatever are my interests.
Yeah.
Made a list out of it, and I just scroll my list now.
Yeah.
I just consume people like content from people who I actually like, and
That's
I think
hmm.
if you've noticed, like I think you came on Twitter later than me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So if you've noticed, you must have felt a shift of intellectuality from
100%.
those platforms to
100%.
Twitter.
100%.
Very different.
Yeah. So, like, there are 2 points that I kind of recognize from what you just said. So one thing is, as you said that you said that I do not know how the shift actually came. So I think it is about just putting your skin in the game and being authentic. Okay, this is who I am. मुझे मीम अभी पसंद है, मुझे आज मीम पसंद है, मुझे कल मीम
हाँ,
पसंद नहीं है, मुझे कल स्टार्टअप पसंद है, मुझे परसों मार्केटिंग पसंद है. सो आई थिंक इट इज
हाँ,
जस्ट अबाउट दैट, एंड देन जस्ट पुटिंग इन दोज reps every day. Because see,
right.
we don't know what actually we enjoy, absolutely. Like no one is 100% sure, okay, what do I want to do? But I think it is about being consistent and about ki, okay, I want to do something and being authentic. Because I see a lot of people who just want to do some things because other people who do those things seem cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I know a lot of people who are like, hey, I want to get into the social media marketing. I was like, why do you want to get into social media marketing? Because they are like, okay, I can make money out of it. I was like, if you cannot fall in love with marketing, why do you want to get into it? You know?
Right.
So so I think that's about that as well. And like also one thing that you said, that I follow a lot of people around startup, the things that I actually want to learn.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it starts from curiosity. Okay, what are you curious about? You know, okay, now I'm curious about startup. I want to learn about startup. And I think that is where the search starts. Both the input and output as well. And people don't understand how much they are controlled. So if I am scrolling a tweet, scrolling Twitter, and I like and comment on a controversial tweet around politics, what people don't understand is that for the rest of the next week, majority of the content they're going to see on their feed is around politics.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, so what happens with these algorithms is, I think your interests can be shifted in an absolutely different direction, and you will realize later that I do not even want it to come here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what I think it is extremely important, and it is just my opinion, that it is extremely important for you to sit down at the end of the day, maybe twice, like once in 2 days, once in 3 days, and ask yourself, okay, what do I actually enjoy? What really do I want to do? You know, because otherwise these algorithms are going to consume you on their own.
That's right.
I think it is extremely important.
It's like I'm not a social media marketer as per se, but I was into social media marketing earlier. I did some things for other people. It's you can call it freelancing for two people doing it together. But so what I've understood is for social media marketing, you need to be a social human, and that's
100%.
it. So if you know how to interact with people, that social part is very important. People try to fake it, and if you try to fake it, it's very visible. I don't know. And if I DM someone for the first time, I DM some very big founder or something, I'll be like very normal with that person. It's not like I put that person on a pedestal or disrespect that person.
Exactly.
Nothing. Yeah, I'm in the middle. Yeah, and I something like I talk to my friend or something like that. And other than that, what I feel is you need to have fun and in anything you do. And
Bro.
why I like Twitter is because the people are creating authentic content, authentic people. If I'm learning from Ryan Hoover is not posting because he wants to create content or he wants to create create that following for himself. He's just doing it because he likes it, and it's perfect for busy people. They can just post it down.
Whatever they want.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
even Kunal Shah, Naval. You can learn from the best.
Insane.
Like that.
It's insane. So that's what I'm saying, right? So see so what I feel is like the tweets that Kunal Shah and Naval post, they come very naturally to them, you know, and what they actually are doing is building things on the side, doing whatever they want to do, and whatever they learn along the paths of it, the philosophy of the business, the philosophy of the life, the philosophy of career, whatever it might be, and they're just posting it down, right? Now I've seen clones of them trying to post tweets like them, but not doing anything on the side, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying, right? So I think it is just, again, figuring out what do you really enjoy learning about. So the best way that so the thing is, you know, like when you're in college, you just do not know. Like you are starting out, you know a few things. Okay, I'm interested in technology. I'm interested in that. I'm interested in this. But it is always chaos in your mind. You are not, I like, at least I was that kind of kid. I was just not sure. So I was always doing hit and trial. You know, someday I'm writing code on Unreal Engine, you know, trying to create some kind of game, doing graphic designing, doing website development, all over the place. So I think it is also about actually putting in the reps, exploring, and then figuring out what do you actually enjoy. So
Right.
yeah. So that's the thing about it as well. Okay, so tell me this. So you come from an engineering background. So you have a pretty much good knowledge of technology. So how did the shift came from just being an engineering student, being in the world of technology, to finance, like, because you're creating something which is a combination or a merger of finance and technology. So I understand the first one part of it, but I am pretty much doubtful about the second part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like in the start of 2020, my father started learning about investments. He was planning his investments, and he involved me in it. I think everything that I've done is because of my father involving me into something.
That's
Alexa
great.
was because he gifted me an Alexa on my birthday. So like it's something like that, and uh, he started this for me. I took it forward. He made me create a Demat account for myself. I invested my own money, whatever I had, took some money from him, and then I started managing his fund for him in his account.
Okay.
And I was doing well. I was learning quickly. I was reading a lot of books. So it just came. I don't know how it came. We don't have a financial background. We don't have anything. So
Right.
I just started learning from Warren Buffett
Yeah,
videos
all
and
those.
Charlie
Yeah.
Munger.
Jalima.
Then read The Intelligent Investor, read Coffee Can Investing, all
Yeah.
those basic books. Then built on those slowly. Built my
Yeah.
own strategies of trading, investing. I don't trade a lot now because I don't get time, but I do invest. I
Yeah.
actively invest. I open my Demat account every day, look in my portfolio,
That's crazy.
and buy,
Yeah.
sell anything, whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
I
So
don't know. There's no clear answer to your question.
no, that's
Where
fine.
it came
I
from.
get it. I get it. So again, it is about just being in the randomness of life and kind of try to pick one thing and kind of go all in on it once in a while and see if it comes to you or not naturally. Because you
Yeah.
cannot just sit and ask yourself, okay, what do I like now? Like, it doesn't happen like that. You have to explore. You have to. So I think those, like, when you said that your father gifted you Alexa and he then started
Yeah.
your Demat account, I think those were just triggers. But at the end of the day, after those triggers, you are the one who took the actions and it
Yeah.
clicked with you. I think
Right.
that's how it happened. Yeah.
So when I entered the market, it was around 3rd March before the
2020.
crash.
It's
Yeah,
2020.
2020.
Okay.
Yeah. In about 20 days, my portfolio, I put in a lot of money. My
Yeah.
portfolio was down by 40% or something.
Yeah. Okay.
And I understood that a lot of people were leaving the market. Even
100%.
my
Yeah.
some of my relatives were
Yeah.
cashing out because they were
Yeah.
in all the tension because of COVID.
Yeah.
And of course, it was stressing me out as well because this is something new that has happened and it's unprecedented. And you're just
Yeah.
20 days old in the market. Okay.
That must be so
and,
crazy.
and you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Now it's a very crazy thought that you put in even more money at that level. Like you just keep on putting,
Yeah.
keep on putting, keep on
Keep on
putting. And that's
putting.
exactly what I did.
Filled it.
I
Yeah.
did. And
Yeah.
now look at what
It's
the
insane.
market, like what the
Yeah.
Fed has done.
Yeah, bro. It's insane how the stocks went up. So,
But there's one thing I understood at that time. Sorry for interrupting. That
no.
a lot of people leave the market at that time.
100%.
Uh, okay, and certain things will happen in the future when
That will.
a lot of those people who are back in the market right now, who
Yeah.
came around me,
Yeah. Yeah.
will leave the market again,
100%.
and those people have to be retained.
Absolutely.
How do
Yeah.
you retain them is like making them more aware, helping them make better choices. So I
Absolutely.
think those were those thoughts, initial thoughts when we started this.
Finfloww. Yeah. Dude, like, even right now, when the news came that crypto is going to get banned. So what happened with me? Whenever there is fear in the market, I get happy.
Yeah, same.
Whenever there is fear in the market, I'm like, okay, this is the time. This is the time. So I put whatever the extra money that I was like dump it in.
Yeah,
Always.
same.
So my Jiju called me because like I handle his crypto portfolio and he is like, this is the time to exit the market. We'll enter again when the dust settles. I was like, put in 1 lakh again, put in 2 lakh. How much you want to, because I know whenever there is fear, the fear is going to get saturated, and
Yeah.
then it go up again, because things are not going to stay bad, right? They are not going to stay bad for long. It might take time. It might take 5 months, 6 months, whatever it might be. But I have this intuition where whenever there is fear in the market, I get happy. Like, I have no knowledge in investing whatsoever, but I invest a lot. So yeah, that's how I approach it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
hope
fear is always good.
Finfloww will be able to help you in some way.
Yeah. So no, I'm always keen to learn about it. Always keen. Like, I'm not into trading because I know it consume a lot of my time. I cannot do it because I have other interests that I want to pay close attention to. But I'm always consistently learning about investing, like the stock market, etc., futures, options, all kind of things. But yeah, I think I am invested. Like I won't trade. I don't understand trading because I tried it, and what happens with trading is it fucks up with peace of my mind. Like I'm gone. I'm looking for. I just cannot stop looking at the graph. I just cannot stop it. And what happens with that is I cannot do the other things that I prioritize in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I just
Exactly.
cannot
So
trade.
it's the same with me. I can't. When I bought something, I bought a lot of things in the initial days that I wasn't clear about. I didn't have conviction on, and that at that time I understood that whatever I invest in is what I'll trade in. So if I invest in HDFC Bank, I know that अल्टीमेटली तो ऊपर ही जाएगा ना, तो मैं उसमें ही ट्रेड भी करता हूँ.
Yeah.
मैं किसी और में एक्सपेरिमेंट्स नहीं करता, मुझे पता है
Yeah.
उसके लेवल्स क्या है, एंड आई स्टिक टू दोज थिंग्स. आई डोंट वांट टू मेक अ लॉट ऑफ मनी, आई वांट टू मेक मनी कंसिस्टेंटली.
That's great. Yeah. That's how I think about it. I was like, so the way I invest is like, okay, this is my money. I'm going to put whatever the money is every month, because like for me, it is not fixed amount of money every month. I know, like if I have a lot of money, I will invest a lot of money. And I was like, I'm going to forget this money for at least 7-8 years. Like I just don't want to look at it. Maybe after a year, I might change the strategy. I might take money somewhere and put it somewhere else. But I think it's about that. And like it is about just compounding. So one concept that has always stuck with me, every financial book that I've ever read talks about compounding. I do not want to dive very deep into it, but I understand the way compounding works. So I was like, okay, I'm going to stick to it. Let's see what happens. So yeah, that's how I'm pushing it.
Right.
So now let's talk about Finfloww, bro. Like, how's it going? How's the culture? How big of a team are you managing? What is your... So let's start with, what is Finfloww at its core? For anyone who doesn't know Finfloww, in 2-3 lines, okay, this is Finfloww.
Yeah. So Finfloww is basically a simple app trying to make finance easy to understand and bring it to your ears. It's an audio only platform. It won't have written content. It will have parts of written content here and there, but we're trying to make it only for people who don't have time. So so something like original content platform where creators will also come in the future. It's a platform. We'll also create content, native content. And because usually what happens is content is scattered out there. Finance content, if you actually try to find things, you will find them, but you might go to wrong resources. So we just want to create that trust that we are right. And whatever we curate, whoever we get on the platform, creators, they'll give you the right kind of advice. They won't give you stock tips, but they are actually, their fundamentals are great. It's kind of a learning platform, but we don't want to brand it as an edtech because it's we don't want to be acquired by Byju's. No. But so and the feel of an audio platform is something very different. The podcast, I think, is just it's like a web page in the internet of audio. Podcast is something like that, and you can build so many good audio voice platforms. You can do so many iterations on that. That the core of it is just we're trying to bring in financial literacy at scale with voice technology. And when we talk about voice, it's not just a tool. It's basically promoting more inclusion. So like when we have text-based platforms, it's not very easy for people with like from every language, every region to understand that. We're trying to make that easy for them. Initially, it will be in English. Then we'll have Hindi. Then we'll have regional languages as well.
All the languages.
We'll have human content. People will speak those things. It won't be computer generated for the most part. So we're just doing that. It's not a India specific product or a Bharat specific product. For everybody, we have plans to go global as well. Because there are a lot of countries in this world which have their own languages, but they don't get financially literate in those languages.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So it's basically promoting financial inclusion into the market.
Got it. Got
The,
it.
our
True
our
words.
our vision, ultimate vision is like whatever 10, 20 year old, 20 year goal is 40% or 50% market participation, uh,
Mm-hmm.
which is around 4%, 3.7, 4% right now.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Got it. That's
And not
crazy.
just that, we want to like make retention in the market.
Hmm.
We don't want people to think of it as a scam,
Yeah.
uh, and consistently grow their money.
Yeah.
Other than that, this is just the front of it,
Okay.
Finfloww. In the back end, we are basically a fintech startup.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so once you learn, you can apply. We're just closing that loop for you.
Okay, so
Uh,
basically, got it, got it, got it, got it. So basically, you are then kind of spreading the literacy around finance, and then
yeah.
I think at the back end, after that, people
Mm.
don't see you're working on things that they can use to apply it.
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong.
Uh, yeah, exactly. So the fintech part is where you can use it, like the tools part, where you
Mm-hmm.
can use our innovative products and whatever integrations we'll offer.
Yeah.
Uh, you can use that. We're not revealing that because we want people to use the first part
Hmm.
initially, and
Yeah.
then we'll slowly go into the other part. It's planned, but not very well planned. I
Got it.
would say it's more subject to iteration. The
Yeah.
first part, and majorly the content platform, is planned. It's like
That's fine.
it's something like your newsletter, but in audio form and
Hmm.
just enhanced,
Mm-hmm.
uh, delivered to
Got it.
you every morning.
In
Mm.
the, yeah, in the proper way. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. So so that's like, I think I would enjoy the app, when
Yeah.
it launched, because if there
It's
is
for busy people.
yeah,
If you like podcast and you're busy,
I like, yeah,
so
100%, like
something like
100%.
that.
Yeah, like if I'm getting a great piece of information on finance or the topic that I want to learn about, let's say finance, every day in the morning that I can learn from, what would be better than that? I think the idea behind it is a great. So
Yeah.
how it has been like, so I can understand that you're a creator first, entrepreneur later, because you started
Yeah.
creating content, as you said, and then you are like, okay, now I want to build something and I want to build a product.
Mhm.
So how that shift has been like, from being just a
Yeah.
content creator to then being an entrepreneur and then creating on the side to kind
Yeah.
of promote the platform that you have. And like, what about your team? Like, how many people are working on the Finfloww? How are you managing them? And just
Yeah.
enlighten us about that as well.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So I think when we started, when me and he's still my co-founder, Harshit Sharma, he's still my co-founder. We started at 18 on something else, and we started doing things. So content creation came naturally to us, and we knew that you had to have distribution in everything you want to do. We sold
Absolutely.
T-shirts, we sold Alexa skills with Voice Tech. Our company's main name is Voice Tech. Finfloww is the name of the product.
Yeah.
So we sold a lot of stuff first. We were a B2B company earlier. We sold services. So I think that was the entrepreneur part. So I had that already.
Yeah.
Now it's something like for the first time we're building a product. Product company is totally different. A
Yep.
platform product is totally different,
Absolutely.
and it's very complicated. I'm managing the product side myself, and we have 10 people, I think, by now, because like there have been some changes, so I have to check.
Yeah. Okay.
But we're 9 people.
Huh.
In the core team, we have 5 people.
Cool.
One is me, who's handling the product and
Mm-hmm.
everything business. We have a business person. We have my co-founder is managing the operations.
Okay.
We have a content head, uh, who is like a strategic at finance content only. We have
Got
a
it.
person for only for copywriting, because for me copywriting is not just the normal concept of what copywriting people think of it. For me it is more like uh,
Yeah.
you know uh, something like giving the feeling of the product in a very good way. So
Absolutely.
and then we have two great designers, amazing designers, like
That's
they're
great.
I think they're
I've seen your
prodigies.
carousels. I've
They're
seen your carousels. Pretty
yeah,
intense, intense work.
yeah, yeah.
I
They're
like it.
they're they're very I think, obsessed with details, just like me,
It is
and
visible.
that is what
By the way, it
attracted
is.
me.
By the way, it is visible. People don't realize how small details in a design can change the design and make it great. Even
Yeah,
if you are unable to see it, you can feel it. Okay, this is detailed and it
exactly,
looks crisp. So I like
exactly.
it. Yeah.
They're also doing things at the side other than Finflow, but they, they these people love Finflow as a product. So they did not come because we convinced them to come.
Got
Uh,
it.
they love the product, and that is, I think, that is how you acquire more talent. And they're
Yeah.
not going to leave just because someone else will pay them more.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Yeah.
uh, so you got to. I think now today's, because everything. I think everyone in the team is Gen Z. Even I'm Gen Z. So
I'm
now
Gen Z.
Gen Z is not motivated by money.
Yep.
They're more motivated by the product,
Yeah.
and I think such people who are very passionate about the product should be paid as much as you can. Like, give
Yeah.
them ESOPs, give
100%.
them
100%.
everything you can.
Everything. Yep. Absolutely, bro. So
So the process of management you were asking,
yeah.
it's been tough. I am not very used to teams. It's just been the two of us
Yeah.
for the longest part. But now it's like I'm learning. I'm learning on the job. I'm
Yeah.
learning. I keep asking these questions on
Yeah.
Twitter, so that some
I got
people
it.
in my community who are startup founders help me. I
Yeah.
got in contact with some like really big startup founders who DM me and help me in
That's
stuff.
crazy, bro.
Uh,
Insane. Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah. But yeah, because like I asked the question of managing a team because like we are like I'm into service right now and we are a team of like 5 people. So I'm controlling everyone. I tell people what to do, when to do, and like whatever it might be. So at first, when I was just starting out and building my team, I was like, when I build a team and have people, things are going to flow very easily, you know. And the moment I have people, I was like, I felt that burden. I was like, now I need to tell them exactly what to do and delegate them very efficiently. So at the initial phase of it, just the delegation process of it took a lot of time for me because like I believe that if you cannot delegate properly, the team that you have, the efficiency would be almost negligible. Like it doesn't matter if you hired a lot of talented people, you have to delegate very nicely. So
right.
I think it is a process of actually figuring out, you know, how to communicate in the fastest and easiest and efficient way possible and get the work done.
Yeah, I think like a big startup founder like helped me in handling some certain things in my company. He told me that processes will control your downside, will help you keep the downside solid, and your creative part will be covered in the upside.
That's
So
great.
uh, if I want the company to be very creative, even if we miss deadlines, even we miss
Yeah.
certain things, I want that newness. I want that creativity. So we are not a very process oriented company, but still, like, just to protect the downside, we have certain processes at place,
Yeah.
and we're building new processes every day.
That's great.
One thing I really would suggest everyone who's building teams is have Notion with you.
Oh man.
Notion is
My
Notion
life
is
is on
so
Notion.
exactly.
My life is
Uh,
on Notion.
it's so perfect. You can mold it according to yourself, and I
Insane
think
tool.
there's no better. It's not just a tool; it's a perfect management system. So,
100%.
and best
Yes.
part is everyone right now, even like in the young team especially, everyone knows how to use it. Everyone is comfortable using it, so it becomes very easy to manage
Yeah.
teams.
Yeah.
Notion and Slack usually, and
100%.
I think the products which actually do well are the products which have mass adoption.
Yeah.
Some usually team products. I
100%.
We don't use Slack that much. We use WhatsApp because of mass adoption.
Yeah.
If I message a designer on the team that something needs to be done, I get a reply within 1 minute on WhatsApp, and it would take 12 hours on Slack to do.
100%. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like that's what. So what's happening with me? Like just when you kind of mentioned WhatsApp, what's happening with me is I was like, okay, let's do it on WhatsApp. But what's happening with me is okay. I know that it's work hours. I'm working, so I open the WhatsApp to see okay what my interns or the people I've hired have texted me, and then I see another message below it from one of my friend or one of the girl, and I was like, now I do not know, and I'm just unconsciously talking to them, And that is
Yeah.
the reason why I was like, no, dude, I just have to shift it, because otherwise I would be done. The productivity that just it consumes for me personally, it can be different for everyone. But yeah, like naturally I started out on WhatsApp. I was like, okay, let's communicate it. It is pretty easy for everyone.
I
Everybody
have a
uses it.
similar thought, but
Yeah.
you're helpless sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So even like sometimes I message my team on Slack, they do not reply, and I was like, now I have to text them on WhatsApp anyways, because I know they will reply over there. So yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It is insane how like how fast we form habits around things that we use, and how
Right.
uh, like how hard it is to pivot those behavior that we are used to. It's insane. Yeah.
There's a like, because I was writing and researching on Notion, I understood certain things. Even our platform, the fintech side, the tools inside will be very intuitive to the person.
Hmm. I think your voice is gone. Yeah, your voice is gone. You can hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you now. I think your headphone discharged.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So where are we?
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. I
Yeah,
can
it's
hear
back.
you. I can hear you. Cool.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so
So I was saying that
yeah.
I think maybe you can cut this one.
Yeah, so we were
Yeah.
what were you saying? I just don't remember. What were you
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, I was talking about that, learning about Notion,
Yeah.
how they're handling things, what actually they're doing. So it's like there are certain products that change things fundamentally,
Mm-hmm.
from how things were done. They
Mm-hmm.
branch a new kind of reality and bring it
Yeah.
to the modern world.
Hmm.
Uh, so we actually want to do something like that on the fintech side. It's very, the product is very intuitive. It would be designed according to what you want to design it,
Yeah.
and how you want it to be, what kind of creators you want to see.
Hmm.
It's all customizable and still end to end
Got
protected,
it. Got
something
it.
like
Got
that.
it. Got it. Got it. So I know that you are still in the process of, like I'm sure you have not actually figured out everything. But like, so when you say that, okay, we'll be getting creators on the platform and we'll be getting them to create content for the audience that we have, the existing audience we have. And then apart from that, we will be creating our native content as well, that that people can trust. Okay, this is the content which is fine. So how are you going to kind of find that middle sweet ground for people that, okay, like, because like how much content are you going to create, how many creators are you going to bring in? They are complex questions, but like I have this one kind of thing that poking in my mind, that okay, so if you are bringing creators on the platform, let's say, for the audience to create content in voice,
Yeah.
you could have just done it for any field. Why just finance? You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
like I understand that
Yeah.
you want to create native content on finance and you want to spread that literacy, which is a great why for creating a fintech product. I get it. But when you say, because when you said to me that, okay, we'll be bringing creators who are in finance, I just had a thought in my mind, okay, then you would have just created a product for everything and bought creator in audio form. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. So initially, when we had the thought of getting creators, actually Finfloww was a start of a platform which will be a curation of creators. That's it. That's what we thought it would be, and Flow because we wanted it on it a voice first, audio
Yeah.
only kind of thing. Uh, After that, when we had a deep dive into everything, I thought that why not create a multi-creator platform? Like, why not every topic in it? Why just finance? But in particular, the market is very
It's about
big, and you can
segmentation.
create a
Yeah.
great, Yeah, it's about segmentation, and you can create a great fintech product around it.
Got it.
So that's what I thought. Usually, what fintech
Got it.
products are just tools, and we never wanted it to be a tool.
I
We
got the
wanted it
idea.
to be an experience. We wanted it to
Hmm.
be a lifestyle company, something like
Got it.
that brings a cultural shift in people.
Got the
Uh,
idea.
so so that was the initial thought. But I have this idea. I think maybe someone else will create it. I don't know.
Maybe
But
I'll create it. Maybe I'll create it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
A creator first platform that Finfloww will also be a creator first platform. Basically, create it will favor the creators. The algorithm will favor the creators and favor the good content initially.
Ah, got it.
Like what it won't favor whatever gets more likes or engagement. We are kind of creating an algorithm like that.
Yeah,
Initially, we don't need an algorithm
yeah,
because there
yeah.
won't be
A lot
so
of
many
good people.
creators.
Yeah.
Yeah. After that, the kind of algorithm we are designing is trying to bring more uh, uh, like more attention or more focused attention towards better content creators.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think that's a great answer, bro. Because like I think that's a default question that everybody would have when they first sit down and understand your product. Because like why will you just do finance? And so all the fintech companies that we see around us, like be it Zerodha, Grow, or whatever it might be, so they created a platform and then they are doing their marketing by educating people. So what you are doing is absolutely flip, that you are like, okay, we first will create it for people, we'll help them by default via our platform, and then we'll be like, okay, now you can apply the exact knowledge that we have
yeah,
given you via our platform, which is a great flipped idea. I think I
yeah,
like it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's something like if you see Zero that has Varsity, it's
Yeah.
an edtech platform. You
Tech
can
platform.
learn
Yeah.
investing and trading. And now a lot of people who use Varsity convert directly into Zerodha
Zerodha.
customers.
Exactly.
We're not going to be the fintech side is not going to be a brokerage side. It's more like a distribution platform. Even the content side is a distribution platform for
Yeah.
every. We're basically the mediators between all the fintechs. Uh, in the content side through marketing, in the fintech side through other integrations.
Okay, cool.
So
So I have another question when it comes to voice. So how much do you think the Indian market is matured when it comes to voice? Because I believe the Western world, the Western society, those people have already been at a point of maturation when it comes to podcast. They consume it a lot. There are
yeah,
millions and zillions of podcasts we couldn't even name. But I still believe that there is a lot of potential in Indian economy when it comes to voice and podcast, but people have not actually leveraged them properly yet. So what are your
yeah,
thoughts about, like, where are you at when it comes to that?
yeah, yeah. Creating a audio only platform was like doing a market research on how many people like audio
Man,
only.
that's what I'm,
Uh,
yeah, that's why I asked this question.
so the growth of podcasting in 2020 was amazing. Then Clubhouse came
Yeah.
and Twitter Spaces came, and
Green
I
room.
understood that people
Yeah.
have started using their earbuds. They're
Yeah.
using them. They're listening to content. They're not just reading it. People are busy and they understand that time is of necessity.
Yeah.
Uh, India is seeing that shift. I don't think we're there yet. I don't think it's a very good time to start an audio only platform. But if that audio only platform can create a behavioral shift, then that could be a game changer. Uh,
Yeah.
and I don't think if you just stick to India with such a platform, you
Yeah.
will be able to grow. But I see certain good platforms which are already there, like Kuku FM. Kuku FM is a Bharat focused product,
Okay.
and they are a paid product and they're doing so well. They're a paid only product.
Paid
So
only product.
there's a
Yeah.
free, and if you think about it, it's very difficult to do that in a Bharat segment.
Bar segment. Yeah.
uh, Free products do like
Well.
share chat do much better there, and still they're able to do so well. And I was amazed that
Yeah.
this is the kind of growth we're seeing,
Yeah.
and this is something which will happen. So that is kind of like a validation that we're kind of on the right track. Of course,
Yeah.
we haven't launched, so we don't know how our product will fit in well into the market. But post that, yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
This Twitter space has actually changed my perspective towards everything.
Yeah,
So
it's
many
going
people
crazy.
coming
Yeah.
coming and listening.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we have those statistics. I don't remember them,
No,
but
it's fine.
the podcasting in India has boomed like anything.
I think, yeah. I think,
Western societies are more mature,
yeah, they are
definitely.
matured, obviously. Yeah, yeah. I think like the population that we have in our country is unfathomable. Like a normal human being cannot sit on a chair and figure out exactly how much volume of
Yeah.
people we have and how many interests and from of different characteristics and interests that people are
Yeah.
present in our country. And
Yeah.
I think like opportunities are like endless.
Why do I think and what thought like why is India a fit for audio is because someone I heard in a voice summit. She was a Swiss lady and she was talking about India in particular.
Okay.
She wanted to position her product in India, and
Okay.
I spoke to her. I asked her why India. She said because storytelling in your culture is very deep rooted.
Hmm.
So storytelling, she had a podcasting platform, something in the podcasting sector.
Got it.
And I was like, yeah, she's right. I never thought it this way, that
That's a great
we
thought. Yeah.
when we understand things, it's through
Through stories.
audio. So even if
Hmm.
someone is explaining, when we are talking, we're looking at each other, and we're listening
Yeah.
to each other, and just because we're paying attention
Attention to the words
is
spoken.
because is when we can learn and understand whatever it is, comprehend it well. And she said
That's crazy.
audio is a part of life when you work in the enterprises, and Indians work on the parts like the parts and the enterprises of the day, the small parts of the day, when we're brushing, when we're doing yoga.
Yeah.
And I don't know why foreigners are obsessed with yoga, but
Yeah, bro, what the
when
hell? Shit. But
when we are
I
working out.
yeah,
And
I
she
heard.
said that if you just position your attention there in the audio, you can learn a lot from it. And and she said that Indians are already naturally inclined towards that.
Yeah, I think I'm 100% sure more people outside India do yoga than Indian people because every Gora person I see on internet is talking about yoga. I have not seen a lot of Indian people talk about yoga.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
what's
right.
the case with it, but yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so okay, so tell me what is bhabhi index by the what is okay, like if it is very that I will cut it, but I just want to know what's bhabhi index.
वह कुछ नहीं है, सेजल के सपने. So उसमें एक जो उसको जो भी पसंद आती है वो मुझसे लिंक कर देती है उसे. And she
अच्छा
wants, हाँ, उसे
अच्छा,
बस
मतलब
यही
कनेक्ट
चाहिए.
करवा देती है वैसा.
कनेक्ट नहीं, लिंक कर देती है अपने आप. मैं
अच्छा अच्छा,
जानता भी
अपने
नहीं उसे
आप ही.
लगी.
अच्छा ठीक है
और उसका इंडेक्स बना देती है, भाभी इंडेक्स.
ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है.
So
Okay, so moving forward, bro, what I have realized as creator, as an entrepreneur, whatever I do, is that whatever you're doing, it is extremely crucial for me to understand life, so I am very deep into philosophy, like all kind of philosophical stuff, about reading about life, then psychology, human behavior. And I think that's how I fall in love with the thing that I do, because I think marketing is about understanding how people behave, how they think
yeah.
about life and all those kind of things. And that's my sector that I enjoy, absolutely enjoy. So like, have you got a chance to, dive deep into philosophy, psychology, and all those kind of things or not?
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, I don't know. I mean, I'm not very inclined towards philosophy, although some people think that whatever I write is from one
Yeah,
perspective of philosophy or whatever.
yeah,
I think we should philosophize, but not read a lot of philosophy. That's what I
yeah.
think. It's
Yeah.
because what philosophy does is kind of like
Yeah,
mix upon your
uh-huh.
thoughts, make you think in a certain way which
Yeah.
you might not want to think.
Hmm.
And I think I think I consume modern philosophers more than the original thoughts of them.
That's
I
good.
like
Yeah.
reiterations more than the
Yeah.
original. Some people like the rawness, some people like the fundamentals. I am
Yeah,
more like
I'm that kind of
inclined
a guy.
towards the fundamentals in other
In the modern,
things.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I think there is a slight smartness when you are consuming philosophy, right? So what I like is to actually consume the fundamental concepts of philosophy as it is,
yeah,
like they're applying in life in general, and then I like to apply it in my life and the things that I am doing, and I have a filter of consuming it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do not consume it and apply it in generality. Like, you cannot do
yeah,
that. So I have met a lot of people who are, because so the bad outcome of reading philosophy, I met those people. People read nihilism and then they are like, there is no meaning of life. I'm not going to do anything. I say, bro, what the hell are you talking about? You have to have perspective of reading nihilism that okay, there is no meaning of life, so I better go all out there. I take as much as risk as possible, and people take it in such a bad way, and then they're like, okay, I'm not going to do anything now. So people so I had this debate on Twitter with some random kid, and he's like in my comments like, there is no meaning of life, why are you talking about this, don't do anything, and he get into my DM and like, dude, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. So people don't have a filter of consuming things that they read.
that's
Like, you cannot do that. So yeah.
I think I love philosophy.
Yeah.
Uh, I think I do, but I don't acknowledge it.
Yeah, got it.
It's
I
like
got it.
that.
Got it. So,
Because when I
yeah.
when I was understanding capitalism, I
Hmm.
went back to understand how capitalism was made. Why was it made? I
Hmm.
understood Adam Smith, who's
Hmm.
obviously he is a philosopher. He is a
Yeah.
philosopher in a business sense. So
Yeah.
you understood those things and you understood the foundational things, and
Yeah.
now you start understanding what however the things have shaped
Mm-hmm.
from there.
So,
So I think I
yeah.
like philosophy. I don't acknowledge the fact that I do,
That you're like, I
just
got it.
because I don't want to be associated with a stream of thought. I'm not a stoic, I'm not a nihilist, I'm not anything in particular.
Got the idea. Got the idea. So the reason why I read philosophy is like, there are some thoughts, there are some words that have stuck with me, and they always help me when shit gets hard. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like,
right.
for example, like when things are hitting rock bottom and I have done everything from my end, then the thought comes to my mind that you can only control what is in your hand. You cannot control the consequences from action of other people or nature. Like, that's a very basic stoic thought, by the way, but it helps me, like, because just by the fact that it is in my mind. So
Right.
like, half the reason why I read philosophy is because it keeps me sane when things
Yeah,
get hard. So yeah.
that's right.
That's
Makes
my
sense.
reason of reading philosophy. Okay, so
And you,
yeah, yeah.
you asked about psychology. I love psychology.
I love
I
psychology.
love the book Psychology of Money. I love understanding human behavior, why we do
Whew,
things, and other
crazy,
stuff.
bro. It's insane.
Uh, I really love that book, Misbehaving,
Great
about
book.
behavioral economics.
Great book.
I'm reading it. I think half part is done.
Yeah.
There's another book by the same author, Richard Thaler,
Huh.
Nudge. Nudge is amazing.
Nudge is a good
Uh,
book. So I,
yeah.
I I'm into economic psychology as well, behavioral psychology as well. There is another great book called Captivate by Vanessa Van Edwards. Great book, like,
Okay.
you know,
Should
great book.
read that.
It's about social behavioral psychology. There are so many tangents of it. It's crazy how much content, how many books, how many articles are out there. I'm all
Yeah.
into it. So yeah.
There's another book called uh, Predictably Irrational.
Creatively, yeah,
Uh,
that's यहीं से वही पढ़ रहा हूँ मैं. Dan Ariely, right? Oh fuck,
yeah, yeah,
great book, dude. Love
yeah.
it. Yeah, it's a great
Beautiful.
book. Mm-hmm.
And in like a broader sense, I like Start with Why as well. Start with Why looks
It's a
very
great book.
mainstream. I don't I don't really like mainstream books that much, but Start with Why it's great
It's a
in
great book, bro.
this space. Hooked is amazing. It's
Hooked is crazy, bro.
helped me a lot in the product build
Hooked is
side.
crazy. It's crazy good. Hooked is crazy good. I think I've read it twice by now, and it's such a great book. There are so many insights in that book. It's insane how we are so addicted to the platforms. It's insane to me. Great book. Yeah, like I'm. So what else? What else do you read? Do you read fiction at all?
No,
Or
I
no?
don't.
No, I don't
Uh,
read fiction. So
Fiction was just the start for me to read when I
get
was
into
young.
the reading books.
After, yeah. After
Yeah.
that, I think of book as like I tweeted yesterday that I think of books as uh, mm, uh, the culmination of a 20 to 30-year career
Of
in
people.
like 10 to 15 hours, and you can
Yeah.
consume it directly, either through audio form or like read
How
it.
good is that, by the way? It's insanely, like, it's crazy to me, like,
It's
how you can actually sit down for 2 hours, 3 hours and consume the entire knowledge of person's life, which is so great. Obviously, there are, like, obviously you cannot consume as it is, like, it's not possible, but like almost everything you can do it, which is
I
great.
like fiction, but I think
You don't
the
acknowledge
whatever.
it? What?
Yeah.
You don't acknowledge it again? You like
No,
fiction
no,
and you
no.
don't acknowledge it?
I'd rather watch a Netflix series of the
Mm,
same both
yeah,
those things.
yeah. But fiction people back to differ, and they're like movies created on fiction books is absolutely bullshit because they don't get into the intricacies of the words written in the book. So I think
Yeah,
it's a debate that's
subjective.
never, yeah, it's subjective, and
I
that's what people
think
think.
more of it as a time thing.
Yeah, I think it's a waste of time
It's
because
not
it's an escapism, right? Like, what is
exactly.
fiction? It's escapism. And so, why won't I escape with better sound
Yeah,
effects, with better music, and with better visuals?
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm a
so,
fan of those visuals, and I don't like
absolutely.
imagining all those
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
It's better.
100%.
I'd rather spend some time learning than
Yeah.
even when I'm like my parents called me to watch a movie on Netflix.
Hmm.
Uh, I said that no, I want to read a book right now.
I think
So.
that's
Uh,
subjective. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 years ago, I would have been 9 hours. I would have watched Netflix for 9 hours.
Hmm.
So
Hmm. Yeah, it's
something's
about
changed.
something is changed. Yeah. And I think it's great. It's great when you. So the only thing that pushed me, by the way, in life is looking behind how much I've improved. Like, so my only goal when I'm creating content, whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm learning, is to actually. So what I do when I'm feeling bad and I'm like, okay, like the things are not working or I'm not good enough and all those bullshit thoughts that come to your mind. I go to my YouTube channel, I sort my YouTube videos from the first video that I ever created. It is the worst video that you will ever watch on YouTube, but I never delete it because I know. So when I see it, it is kind of an anchor. Okay, here I was, and I was bad, but now I'm here and I'm really good. So it's kind of inspiring for me in its own, and I think that's all I live for. So
How
yeah.
how did your journey start? Like, what
So,
was
bro,
the?
I'm an engineer myself as well. I'm an engineer myself as well, but I always knew that I'm interested in technology and all those kind of things. But I didn't knew that I will never be interested in writing code. Because like I was a computer science engineer. By the second year of it, I realized that I just cannot write code because what I realized and what I got aware about myself is even though code build things that looks beautiful, I'm a kind of a person who wants to see it when it's happening. Like it has to be visual to me every time. So that's something that's just me, and I realized it. So I was like, I have to do something else. I started reading books, all kind of things, and some of the books around psychology, human behavior, and all those things kind of hit me. I was like, okay, this is interesting. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, then figure out, okay, how do I apply it in real life? How do I make a thing out of it? So I was like, okay, marketing is a thing. Like you have to understand humans, you have to read about them, you have to understand how they behave, how they think, and then you can apply it in marketing. You can earn money. I was like, what can be better than that? So I was like, okay, let's go over there. So I started freelancing. I had a job, by the way, when I graduated in March 2020, but because of COVID, it got postponed. I did my thing and I rejected my offer. Like I never did a job. So yeah,
Nice. So,
that's
so like
about it.
COVID was lucky for you
Yeah,
in
I
that
guess
sense.
yeah, that's what people think, and that's what I believe. In some ways not. But I think that's what life is. Yeah, yeah. But I was very so from the beginning when I was in college, I was very sure about that. I just don't want to do a job. I just don't want to do a job. I also tweeted about it that in the short macro life, if you see it from up top, why would you waste the best years of your life working for someone else just for the sake of money? Like, I don't fucking care what people say. Professional experience, money, security. I just don't care about it. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
for me, it is about, okay, I have a limited years of my life. I'm never going to be 22 again. So I want to live 22 as I want to it right now. I don't care about security at 28.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Like,
That that leaves me with the thought that when you're building a company, most important thing is culture. For me, it's
100%.
culture. I've read those.
Absolutely.
I think you've read that book, No Rules Rules. It's it's amazing.
Great.
So the thing is, when you're building culture, you always try to bring in, and it's especially in startups. Now, I'm not talking about corporates. Uh, you try to bring in those people who are not motivated by money.
Absolutely.
And I got a lot of backlash when I wrote that tweet that everybody should do good do for the money, no unpaid internships and stuff. And
Yeah,
I
that's
said,
cool.
and I had to tweet that, and you pay the most to those people, because people don't understand what I meant.
Yeah, I
Uh,
got it.
so it's basically like you said that why would you waste your life working for some other person? Why would they waste their life working for me?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I
It's
think no
not
one should
because
do
of
it.
money, it's
No one
because
should do it.
of the vision.
The why.
Yeah.
Again, so again we loop back to the book Start With Why, right? So
Yeah.
like so what I say people is, if you can figure out what your actual why is, you can figure out what to do and how to do it.
Right.
Like, because if you don't have a sense of why, if you don't have a sense of why, you will always be running around circles. Okay, what do I do? How do I earn money? How do I do this? How do I do that? But when you have a why, when you're like, so my why is, I don't want to do a job no matter what. I just want to explore, and I don't want to limit my horizons. I don't want to tag myself that, okay, Akshay Tonge is a freelance marketer. No, that's not who I am. I just want to do whatever I want to, whenever I want to, and live a life of freedom without working for someone else. So I have
And
a
that
very clear why.
Instagram bio keeps getting up.
It's because I don't know. Because
And it should.
yeah, because I don't know, bro. Like, sometimes it would be marketing, sometimes it would be freelance marketer, sometimes it would be an entrepreneur. I don't know. I don't know. But I just know one thing for a fact. I'm not going to work for someone just for the fucking sake of money. Like, that's in my opinion, is life wasted. Like, don't do it. Like, if I'm not against working for someone or doing a job, obviously, that's not what I mean. Like, the people will come back to me and like, what the fuck are you talking about? Not everybody can do something else. They have to do a job. But if you're doing just for the sake of money, it's life wasted, in my opinion.
Right. That's right. And as a owner, as a founder, you should try to make a culture, get in
Absolutely,
people,
bro.
or like
Always.
try to make them excited about the thing. And
Yeah.
10 people till now, I think 9 to 10. I'm always confused. So
Yeah.
9 to 10, I think I've never counted. People in the team, and I'm that lost a
Yeah.
person. 9 to 10 people in the team,
Hmm.
and we did not approach even a single person. They
What can
came.
be better than that, bro? That's
Yeah.
insane. For all the people who are listening, it's insane to me that you
Yeah.
actually have not hired and people have came to you. Like, and those, I'm sure those are the most motivated people that you will ever met
Yeah,
as a team member.
it's
So
a pan India team. Someone is based in Coimbatore. Someone, we
yeah,
also
that's,
have one from Nepal. We
oh,
also have
crazy.
someone from Bihar. Someone from
That's
Gujarat. We are
insane.
in Delhi. So
That's
it's like
insane.
a something like that, and
That's crazy,
we're
man.
creating something very. I don't know. I, there are certain things I've worked on a lot of stuff till now,
Mm-hmm.
but this thing, I don't know how is it special. How is it attracting
But it
people?
feels like, yeah.
Yeah, it's attracting people, and there's a whole new fan following of that particular product, uh, and some of those fans are working with us.
Hmm.
It's like
That's
that.
crazy.
So the copywriter, who's like, I call her the magician in the
Mm-hmm.
team, she came to me and said that I never did any copywriting till now. मैं बोला मैंने भी आज तक कभी product company नहीं बनाई. Come on.
That's
So
so
yeah,
insane, bro.
किसको
Fuck.
पता होता है.
Oh god, that's so beautiful, bro. That's so
Yeah.
beautiful in its own way, where you all are novice in a way, but
Yeah.
actually know their art. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's beautiful. Crazy, crazy, crazy conversation. So like, it is also like, so the way I think about life is like, when I told you, like, I consider working just for the sake of money as life wasted. And I also like, so there are people, there are always kind of people who are like, okay, I will do X when I get Y. That
Yeah.
that exchange of doing X just for the
Yeah.
just only when I will get Y. So you might have met people in college. I will only go out on a vacation if I get XYZ marks in my exams. So the way I think about it is that you are 22 today and you like to do certain things. Okay, there might be XYZ things that you want to do right now, and if you are saying that I'm going to do those things when I'm at 25, you are leaving voids at 22 yourself for the rest of your life, because you're not going to 22 anymore, and who knows, you might not enjoy doing those things at 25.
Yes.
So I just as a person do not like to do the trade-off. So I won't trade off the experiences of 20, 23, 24 for security at 26.
Right.
I'll figure out 26 at 26. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, I am aware of it. I'm doing investment, all those kind of things, which is a completely different topic. But like, that's how I think. Or you do not want to leave voids at a 22-year-old Aryan or 22-year-old Akshat or Shubham or whoever is listening. Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
There's a thought that everybody wants to be self-made, and I think it's I think it's the most
I think we had a
ridiculous thing.
conversation about it on Twitter as well.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
remember. Yeah.
So everybody
insane.
wants to be self-made,
It's
and I was like, why
it's so
don't you
toxic.
take money from your parents, invest it, trade it, whatever you do with it, and grow their money?
It's
Take
insane.
some parts of it. Isn't that your money? And they're like, no, this is not our money. What
I think
when we
yeah.
go out, create a
They want
active
to earn it
income
from
for us?
scratch. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't like the fact that people call investing passive income.
Yeah, it's
I
not
never
passive
thought
in a
of
way.
it.
No,
I never thought of it as passive, and whatever I've made is like enough for it to be an active income. Of course,
Yeah.
I've been in the bull market, but I acknowledge the fact that I, it wasn't once that I invested.
Yeah.
I kept investing. I
Yeah.
kept taking certain things out. Maybe you could call it trading, but I call it short-term investing. But whatever it is, I've learned that it's not a passive income source.
No, it's not. So the way I
Yeah.
think about it is there are only two ways you can make money. Yeah? Either you invest time for money or you invest money for money, right? So
Yeah.
as a trader, as an investor, you're investing money to make money and it is faster. So what's wrong with that? Why do you want to take the slower path? Why would you?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
so yeah, I think people don't understand the concept of leverage. Like if your dad have a lot of money, that's your leverage. Use it and make even more money. Don't fucking be okay, I want to be a self-made person. I made it on my own. So people are fascinated by all those emotional stories of starting from scratch with having nothing.
People are fascinated by that identity they get.
Identity of exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like
I am more than happy to be a product of my parents.
I don't care.
Yeah, I really love that they built something for me and I'm growing it. Isn't that amazing?
What's
and that
problem with
applies
that?
to and that applies to your family business as well. If your family
Absolutely.
already has a business
Do it.
and you don't have any other path to take, why not try
do it?
that?
Exactly. And yeah, that makes a lot of sense, bro. And I think if more people would think like that, I think we would be a more prosperous country because everybody is chasing a fascination in their mind that if this would happen, I would tell stories like this. You know what I'm saying? So that's
And people don't understand compounding. If
they don't.
if everybody is starting from scratch, then nobody is using that compounded
Nobody
cash. Like obviously,
Obviously,
it would be a good tweet.
It would be a good tweet. So the way I think about is it might be brutal, it might trigger people, okay, and some people might call it sadist, okay, but the way I think about it is my parents are 50 today. You know, let's say they have a lot of money, and if I am proud and I'm a proudy person and I'm not going to use this money, I'm going to make my money from my own from scratch, okay. After 40 years, after 30 years, anyways, the money that my parents made or the legacy that I've built is going to be mine, right?
Yeah.
By default, I'm going to use that money, but I'm going to use it at 50. Why not use it at 22?
Right.
It doesn't make any sense for me. Like, you are going to use that money anyways. It is, what's that word? Oh, okay, whatever. But you are going to use that money at, like, anyways. Why you want to use that money when you're old? Rather use it at 22 and build something even more bigger. That's how I think about it.
If we actually want to progress as a country, become more prosperous, become more wealth generating, and concentrate on areas beyond just earning money and security, we have to understand that there's a need of certain people who might not come from those particular stories. I respect them a lot. Those who built it from scratch,
100%.
I respect them a lot.
Mad respect.
But what they build is to a particular level. Now, how do you take that baton and like take it forward. It's
Exactly.
because you're already on that platform,
Exactly.
and now you can
Exactly.
build on that.
It's
Unless you
about,
have that
yeah,
platform,
yeah, yeah.
what will you do?
It's about thinking in terms of humanity now. Like, okay, your humanity is here. We have already built this amount of wealth, and you are
Yeah,
working to build that amount of wealth from scratch. Why not take it from here and go to
yeah.
Mars, space, whatever, wherever you
And
want to?
and when you have some kind of like when you get detached from the idea, I call it idiotic idea of becoming self-made, you think beyond the ordinary. You think कि यार हम ऐसे भी चीजें कर सकते हैं, हम ये भी कर सकते हैं, वो भी कर सकते हैं.
Exactly. Absolutely. I agree. I agree.
Changes your perspective in life completely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Kunal Shah said, right, I think on Raj Shamani's podcast, that people don't want to be rich. People don't want to be rich. They want to be famous. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's what he said.
yeah. They chase that story of कि अकेले हमने बनाया, खुद से
हमने
बनाया. पहले तो
बनाया भाई,
कोई
सब
सेल्फ मेड
हमने
होता
किया.
नहीं. मेरा मेरा दोस्त एक है आर्यन, he says that nobody is self made.
Nobody is.
Nobody is self made. Your parents have put in a lot in you, and
Anyways, you're
that
not.
is what has made you. So
100%.
nobody is self made.
100%. It's insane how much people chase it though. It's
Yeah,
crazy. Okay, bro, it's been a great conversation. Like, this is how I like my podcast, because we don't know what is this podcast about. What is this about? It is nothing. It is just we both like conversating, right? I hate it when people script their podcast. Like, I'm sure they have their own reasons for sure, but this is how it should be. Like, it should be raw.
a natural flow.
Because see, if someone asks you, okay, what was that podcast about? I'm 100% sure you won't know.
Yeah,
I'm 100% sure you won't know. And I think it was a pretty great conversation around. I think we talked about everything. There are always a lot of topics that you could talk about. Obviously, I won't.
many more.
Many more.
Take 10 more episodes.
10 more episodes, 100%. Like, we haven't talked about content creation at its core, Web3, NFT, shift from Web2 to Web3. Obviously, you cannot do everything. It has already been 1.5 hours, and I know you might have a lot of things to take care of at Finfloww as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thanks a lot, Aryan, bro. Thanks a lot for coming to the podcast.
Thanks.
For everybody listening today, what are the last few words that you want to tell anyone who is trying to build a company, trying to create content, anything that is in your mind, might be maybe something inspiring that you want to say? Just let it out. And yeah.
I'd say I'm not a very inspiring person in general. So
No, that's fine.
yeah, but I really think that one, you should come on Twitter. Be a consumer. Don't create content if you don't want to, whatever. But just learn from amazing people there.
Love 100%.
One, that. Second thing, because Twitter has changed my life, so I'm talking from that experience.
That's insane.
And secondly, read a lot of books. Read as much as you can. Listen to books, audiobooks, पढ़ो, physical books लो, Kindle ले लो. It is amazing.
It's about
Best
reading
thing
words.
you can do to yourself.
Absolutely.
And if you're not already into the habit of reading, just try थोड़ा थोड़ा करके हो जाएगा. That and get into personal finance because once you're into personal finance, then
Good plug,
you
good
have
plug.
some sort.
I'm kidding.
So you have some sort of freedom to think beyond money.
Yeah.
So that is amazing. Of course, use Finfloww in the future for your personal financing.
100%. Sure.
And
By the way, guys, follow Aryan Kochhar on Twitter. Link is in the description. Follow him on Instagram. His Instagram stories are intellectual as well. You would find something out of those stories as well. What else? Where else are you? Twitter, Instagram.
LinkedIn,
Follow Finfloww on Twitter as well, I guess.
Twitter.
So
And
yeah,
Instagram.
yeah, everything would be in the description. Go follow him. Thanks a lot, bro. Thanks a lot
Thank you so
for
much.
accepting the invitation finally and giving your time. Best of luck for Finfloww.
Thanks for calling me.
Also, by the way, that's the official part. So, what's your schedule like, by the way? Because I am thinking to do the spaces on Twitter around marketing. I don't want to just talk about audience building, community building.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we know that. I just want to talk core marketing, psychology of marketing, human behavior, and all those kind of things. So. Tell me when you're free, what's your schedule like? Maybe just an hour long space every now and then. I don't know.
Yeah. I think we can do nights after like 7 p.m. 8 p.m. के आसपास.
Done. हाँ, ठीक है.
And any day actually around Friday, Thursday, even Saturday, Sunday sometimes. But
Cool.
sometimes I like want to give my
Done.
parents time
Because like
to
I
play.
see you involved in a lot of spaces here and there.
Yeah,
So I think we can have fun and talk about
for sure.
marketing, the product marketing, all those kind of things as well. So I'll just
पूरा वो
contact.
शेड्यूल करके करेंगे.
हाँ, शेड्यूल तो करना ही है ब्रो, वट एवर इट माइट बी. तो करते हैं फिर, मे बी ऑन सैटरडे, मे बी नेक्स्ट, आई जस्ट टेक्स्ट यू एंड देन विल टेक इट फ्रॉम देयर. कूल.
सही है bro.
ओके ब्रो, हैव अ गुड डे. थैंक्स अ लॉट अगेन.
चलो, have a good day.
ओके ब्रो, बाय.
Thanks for calling me.
या ब्रो, नो प्रॉब्लम.